This is BTV News at 9 o'clock, coming to you live from the capital, Gaborone. I am Komozo Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. The construction of Mankodi-Sejelo Junction in Kanye to commence in 6 months. Moshopa Post Office to bring services closer to the people. And in sports, Botswana Karate Association continue to select players to represent the country at the Zone 6 Championships. Interpreting in sign language is Topo Taposa. Good evening. The construction of the 40 meters Bailey Bridge across Molabe River along the Tobane-Tsokwe Road is in the final stage of completion. This was confirmed by the Minister of Transport and Public Works, Mr. Eric Molale, during a tour of the project wherein he applauded the Department of Roads for their work. Karabo Mulusi reports.
The construction and delivery of this Bailey Bridge is a fulfillment of the long submitted request by the residents of Tobane and Tsokwe, who endured challenges especially during the rainy seasons. The government has ultimately acceded and acted on their request.
Se salang ko gore jaanong borogo jo bo dirisiwe matshwenyego a hokotsege ra itse gore the next stage o tla bo go buiwa ka tsela gore ga ya siama mme kana madi ga bone motlho re tla nna re leka go e baakanya ha re bone madi
ane re hapula ene le yana batho ba tsogona motseng ga kilometer di kalo ne ba tshwana re bo heta go robella ba poteka kwa gongwe go le molwetse kana motho a se tsa tsamaetswe ke malatsi go sa nne sente ka gore le tselana go sena ditsela mme go mola la lentse re go temporary batho ba atola bo siame ya ka re bona koloi ke ya atola le nna ne ke bo dirisitse ka Christmas ke a di bolong ka kwa ke a di khwaere mme batho ba bo itumeletse thata.
The bridge stretches 40 meters across the river, standing 2.5 meters tall above its level. The experts confirmed that it's safe for use, attributing progress made to improved service delivery, influenced by the President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi's mindset change project.
Re boheditse ka December towards Christmas. Re ba mo positioning. Mo mala re boagela ko ntle be re pushetsa mo teng be ra go ba gape re bo jakela ko tlase mo di sitting sa teng mo di apartment teng mo gompeno yana ne ra dira gore batho khone go tlola mo go setseng ke di protection works go tlase go le ka go sireletsa yone ha bo gatileng teng gore ha metsi a tswa kwa a saka a mana thata le gone.
The Molabe Bailey Bridge infrastructure will enable the residents to access services in other areas, enhance relations and foster growth in businesses while waiting for construction of the 20 kilometers tarred road in future. Karabo Mulusi, BTV News, Tsokwe.
The Minister of Transport and Public Works, Mr. Eric Molale, officially handed over the design, construction and maintenance project of Mankodi-Sejelo Junction Road in Kanye, which will commence in 6 months. The official signing of the contract handover was done in Hokodisa village. Tato Ranna reports.
The minister says government is set on improving infrastructure as well as the safety and security of the transport sector. The project, which is expected to start in 6 months' time, has a budget allocation of 340 million pula. The project includes fencing, road maintenance, as well as road construction.
Re ne re ntse re rotloetsa re le puso gore ba gaetsho a re ha ditiro di tlhaga di neelwe Batswana pele re eteletseng batswana ko pele re ba swelelle gore tiro tse nne tsa bone yaanong re dirile jalo ra ira molao wa Economic Inclusion Act gore pele ga tsotlhe le pele ga botlhe re neele batswana
sengwe se se tshwanang le tiro ena se tla be se raga gone gore terata ya tlhokomelo ga ke itse kana di-gate mme ala go tile tlhokomelo e a tsela go e baakanya ga ke itse rante go twa e le lone logogo lo lo ntsho lona kana jang mme motho utlwa o eletsa gore e kete di-gate tse terata e ya geletseng tsela e ke dilo tse tla be e le gore dilo tse di tla nna botoka go tswa ga go ya pele.
The local company responsible for the roadworks has assured residents that the project will be completed on time in February 2027.
Tsela ita hela ka nako re solohetsa gore re na le ditsumpelo tsotlhe tse di tlhokagalang tsa gore re dire tiro e hapele ga rona mme re solohetsa le one magosi a motse a metsi e tsela e rallang mo go yone gore ta nna ntse re naakanya le bone mo go se se dirwang le yone phiro ya ka o sa tswa go bua tona e ta direlwa gone mo dikgoteng tse di harologaneng
jaaka re le ga re rotlhe yana batlotlegi makhanselara bokgosi le maphata ditlhogo tsa maphata otlhe a bao malega ra be re le ba supia gore seo se dirang ke sone tota le ena ra kontraka re moetsi mo go sa tshwanele gape le mo e leng gore re na re utlwala ra kontraka na re mmana a le mo tseleng a le mo tirong re sa itse gore ke mang o tswa kae wa kae mme ebile le bona le lehoko le e leng gore ga o ba rola yana wa leba ke lehoko le re itumelang thata.
Residents have been advised to avoid vandalizing the fencing along the road as they are meant to restrict animals from straying and roaming into the road. Tatoranna, BTV News, Khokodisa.
Acting Regional Education Office, Ms. Tetlanyo Chipendu, says they've lined up strategies to improve academic results in the region as the area has been experiencing a decline in educational performance. In the just released JCE result, Chobe Junior Secondary School obtained a pass rate of 27.3%. Kizote Mani reports.
For a lengthy period of time, the shortage of teachers, lack of proper teaching materials, among other reasons, are being attributed to the poor performance in schools. Chobe Junior School head Mr. David Mvila says the oversubscription within the school has worsened the shortage of teachers, despite temporary teachers being employed to try and bridge the gap.
Sekole se godile and ha se gola gora gore matitšhara a simolola go thaela barutabana ba thaela minister o tabo fila gap ka ma-temporary and ma-temporary ha bana continuity ke yone tswelediso so bana ba tswa ba tsena bana ba runa ba DNT ba ne ba le 91 mo 91 yone 84 itse re you the reason ile ura ha go a dirwa project ba assessile hela component ya project isio mo teng.
The regional education are working tirelessly to develop and incorporate different strategies in order to solve these issues and improve junior examination results in Chobe.
This year there's a difference because we have managed to fill all the posts. Ahona school se sena butchara ba shota. Re ntse ba go gore ba go benchmark in Pico schools since they are always performing well. So when they are coming back, we'll form a team and itla be disseminate information at the yotlhe mo regioning re be re ba support re bone gore re khone go perform sentle.
Other stakeholders are also equally worried.
Madu a bana ga se a itumedisa tota ga o ka ya o lebella mo dingwageng tse di ka ga morago go ntse go na le kwelotase ya ka ga bana ba dirang ka teng dilo tse tsotlhe re ntse re di lebile re le botsadi mme kana le ha re di lebile re le botsadi re tshwanetse ra di lebella ka leitho le le bulegileng gore go ka tswa go bakiwa keng ka gore malatsi a re ka tswa re lebeletse social media ka ga e ba amileng ka teng bana ba ithuta dilo tse dintsi mo social media ba tswa mo tseleng e leng gore le ko malwapeng re le ka go ba busetsa mo go yone mme ga re ta re lebella ko dikolong ba teachera ba imelwa.
Seeing that the Selebe Pico region continues to shine on the educational front, It was revealed that officials from Chobe will soon be embarking on a benchmarking exercise to learn the best practices of the schools there. Kitso Temani, Botswana Television, Kasani.
Martha's Bay College in Francistown recently celebrated its 60th anniversary, and the celebration spoke to the institution's excellence, proven by its alumni who hold leading positions in different portfolios across various sectors in the country. This was said by the school alumni director, board member of Engine Botswana, Mr. Leonard Makwinja. Faith Ditete reports.
The Mother of Hope, as the school is affectionately known, opened its doors as a Catholic government-aided school known for its high performance to date, contributing towards the reputable image of the city of Francistown and the country at large.
What is significant about Martha's Bay is that it has produced, it's got such a track record, and has produced a number of its graduates who are in very, very senior leadership positions. Apart from the engineers, lawyers, medical doctors, very senior lawyers who became judges, you can actually look around and find every profession in this country that has come through Martha's Bay.
The importance of togetherness and stakeholder engagement was highlighted during the celebration, with the school alumni be the primary stakeholders given that task.
There is a lot of greatness in coming together. We are at a stage where governments, not just Botswana governments don't have enough money to take care of their business. And most of the countries now, at university level, at primary, at secondary, they're bringing stakeholders. The alumni is a very important stakeholder of Martha's Bay.
It calls for us individually, severally, as a group, to all put our minds together and contribute in our own little way to making Martha's Bay great, as we all aspire for it to be. Alumni are a vital asset to any school, including universities.
Martha's Bay School head decried of shortage of classes as well as the influx of drugs in their institution.
We have a population of 1,958. That population translates to 54 classes. The facilities which we have for Martha's Bay is enough for only 42 classes. Influx of drugs in our institution. There are some irresponsible community members who use our students or their children to come and sell drugs in the institution. It's quite a disturbing factor, which I think the community, the government, everybody should fight against.
People should know that our schools then were organized, and it was not only the responsibility of the teachers, the students also had the responsibility.
The history of this school speaks volumes. A strong school culture whose belief is in prayer and discipline has always set it apart. Alumni donated 50 mattresses and a printer to the school in appreciation. Faithy, DTT, BTV News, Francistown.
The Botswana Democratic Party Bomase region convened on Saturday to pave way for primary elections. This comes in the wake of the country's recent delimitation exercise, which has reshaped electoral boundaries across the nation. Bomase region is made of 4 constituencies, being Bubirwa, Madinare, Siliwe-Phikwe West, and Siliwe-Phikwe East. Mamusi Siska with more.
The Botswana Democratic Party, a dominant political force in the country, is preparing to navigate through the intricate process of selecting candidates for the coming primary elections. In a region as pivotal as Bomase, where political dynamics often shape the national outcomes, the stakes could not be higher.
All the way to the region. re lebile gore tse di amegileng ke dife tse di sa amegang ke dife tse di amegile ka bokete jo bo kana kang bangwe ba co-opta jalo jalo. But what's important ha re bua gompieno ke gore gone mme re le matomkoraga a re itse mosola le maikaelelo a ga tomkoraga as regards the structurate the organ tsonetse.
With the new boundaries drawn, political players are scrambling to realign their constituencies and mobilize support.
Bulela ditswe e ke ina party democracy. Re le domkoraga re batla bontlhopheng ba rona be ba tshitswe ke morafi ke setšhaba gore nya yo ke ene le gore party e tla moroma ha dikeletso tsa gagwe di le gore di ka wela sentle go vetting.
Tswana na kwa ya re ana re simolotse re le sidila maikuto ke se ke le rang kere go ya bulela ditswe ga se di top. It's just an added advantage mo go ye go di topo.
The candidates were reminded of the party mandate and its role in saving the country.
Wa iteka o itekela wena me le gore o itekela lehatsi a e le gore o ka re o iteka wa ba ile gore o itekela wena hela o lebala gore o dira jana o direla lehatsi
a re rotwetse gemba ka bolengwe re be re itse gore kana puso ye engwe hela e bile ga re ka e tholola ga gona se re ka thola re se bona gape.
Currently, among the 4 constituencies in the region, 3 are held by opposition parties, while only 1 remains under the control of BDP since the last general elections. Mamusi Siska, BTV News, Silibe Pikwe.
Botswana Post promotes socio-economic inclusion as asserted by the Minister of Communications, Knowledge and Technology, Mr. Thulaganyo Segokgo, when officially opening Moshopa Post Office recently. Kisegofetse Magwinja and Oneile Ntokolo.
It is the government's mandate to ensure that services are brought closer to the people through online services such as the Poso mobile application for convenience purposes. During the official opening of Moshopa Post Office, it was said that the upgrade entailed extension of the previous building and ensures safer conditions for service provision for the wide and diverse postal clientele.
Tlhokomelang poso ena e diretswe lona e dirise ka ha ile gore go tshwanetse ka teng gore e nna mosola mo go lona e tle nna mosola mo dikokomaneng tsa lona le ka ha re tla beng ke soletse gore tla tswela re tlhabolla re tsenya maranyane ka teng e se mo Moshopa hela e le Botswana otlhe ke one mothale o re batlang gore re ngotle mesepele ditshenyegelo tsa lona le mo Moshopa le mahelo a mabapi gore le go bona thuso.
The state prosecutor Onalena Madimabe, in a case in which Samuel Sololwane, Veronica Kopolelo and Lydia Bujameo are facing a single count of inducing and encouraging prostitution of an underage child, pleaded with Magistrate Horatile Ramakoloi to issue an order that will force Samuel Sololwane to submit blood samples for DNA test. The prosecution said this when the accused persons appeared before court for mention. Ungutlule Tamare and Samantha Baimi with more.
The prosecutor, Onalena Madimabe, in her request, informed court that the first accused person, Samuel Sololwane, is refusing to allow the police to take him to the laboratory to submit blood samples to conduct DNA tests, which is key in the ongoing investigations of a rape case which the accused is facing. She says it's been some time now that the investigators have been pleading with the accused person to do the DNA test to no avail, as he denies any committal of the offense he is charged with. The prosecutor told court that investigations are ongoing and they intend to consolidate the offenses and charge the accused persons jointly. She says since it is believed that the accused persons acted together to induce and encourage prostitution of a 13-year-old minor, it is important to be charged together. The first accused person, Samuel Silolwane, the second accused person, Veronica Kgopolelo, who is also the mother to the 13-year-old minor, and Lydia Bojang-Meo, who is a friend to the mother, also pleaded not guilty to the charges leveled against them. According to the charge sheet, the first accused person, Samuel Silolwane, on the 26th January 2024 at Odi Village in the Gauteng Administrative Authority, had unlawful carnal knowledge with a minor aged 13 years without her consent. The second accused person, Veronica Kgopolelo, and the third accused person, Lydia Bojang-Meo, on the 26th January 2024 at Odi Village, acted together and in concert, induced and encouraged the prostitution of the said minor child. The three accused persons, Samuel Silolwane, Veronica Kgopolelo, and Lydia Bojang-Meo, will be further remanded in custody and will appear again in court on the 29th of February this year. Unkutle Tamare, BTV News, Gaborone.
Still with court news, Prosecutor Sergeant Moluki Solofera, who presides on a case in which Kgomolemo Motlanyane, who is facing a single count of murder of his wife, Kebabope Motlanyane, at a counseling center on the 24th May 2023, informed Broadhurst Magistrate Horatile Ramakoloi that investigations in the case are complete and that they have submitted the case to the Director of Public Prosecution for assessment. Unkutlule Tamare continues.
Selofera says after a lengthy investigation on this matter, investigators have now completed their work and are in a better position for this matter case to be tried at the High Court. He says they have handed the file to the Director of Public Prosecutions for assessment and review before committal. He also indicated that in the next mentioned date, they will brief the court on progress made on offering counseling to Motlanyana's children. The accused person, Motlanyana, applied for bail before Magistrate Ramakoloi for the third time. Magistrate Ramakoloi told the accused person that the court has long issued an order for him to apply for bail at the High Court. She also ordered that at the next mention, the investigating officer must come to court to advance reasons for denying the accused bail. The court ordered that the accused person be further remanded in custody and to appear again before court on the 29th of February 2024, where the court will address the issue of bail application for the accused person. Unkutle Tamare, BTV News, Gaborone.
Liza Osekeng is standing by to give us the latest in sports. Liza?
Kamozo,
how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm well.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was good.
Okay. How did AFCON go for you?
Well, it went well for me. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed most of the games that I watched. I think the standard of play has picked. I was able to even look at some of the commentary from soccer, football fans rather, across the world, pundits across the world talking about the standard of refereeing and how our officials were actually using VAR. That was really the benchmark, or is the benchmark for other leagues in Europe to copy from.
And any surprises for you?
Any?
Surprises?
No, not really, but I must say Bafana Bafana was quite a surprise for me.
Oh, of course, yeah. Thank you so much, Kamuzo Mapani. Good evening. My name is Liza Osekeng with your World of Sport. And we are starting off with cricket news. In an effort to select a team to represent Botswana in the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers, Botswana Cricket Association hosted the Under-19 Boys and Girls Trials in Francistown Cricket Club recently. The trials are meant to give every young player a chance to impress the selectors and make the final cut. This was revealed by BCA's national team coach Stanley Timoni at the ongoing trials. Karabo Sibili has the report.
Timoni says these trials are very important on the children's lives because should they qualify and be part of the World Cup, their lives would improve as they hoist the country's flag higher.
This is a ticket of changing life. So we are here to change life through cricket. So imagine getting an opportunity to fly to Uganda, to fly to Rwanda, Malawi, and then when you qualify, you go all over the world. I think to me it's a plus to the country.
He, however, went on to explain that even though the suspension of school sport was a stumbling block in preparing and keeping fit, they managed to improvise with what is available to continue with their training.
It has affected a lot of sports, but in terms of cricket, we didn't stop coaching kids from schools because we have got development coaches who are meant to coach schools. So they were trying their level best to make sure that they talk to the parents and get the green light from the parents, and we continued coaching our kids.
Furthermore, Timoni highlighted the qualities players should possess in order to qualify for the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers.
We have got 3 departments. We've got batting department, we've got bowling department, right? And we've got all-rounders. So we are looking at who can bat, who can bowl, who is a good all-rounder, and who has got the leadership qualities of being a captain.
Meanwhile, some of the participants shared their experiences and motivation from the trials.
I find it to be a really eye-opening experience, and it's a chance for young players like myself to develop our skills and become better cricket players.
The practice is very good. You practice on everything, so you're fielding, bowling, batting, and I practice on my bowling, so I think it's quite good. And my batting also, I batted a bit, so it's quite good for improvement and learning new things about the sport.
The Cricket Under-19 Boys and Girls World Cup qualifiers will be held in Malawi and Rwanda, respectively, in August this year. Karabo Sibili, BTV Sport, Francistown.
In other news, Botswana Cheerleading Federation President Neo Selulwe says developing a healthy working relationship with international cheerleading bodies and clubs is key in developing the sport in the country, especially as young people are already starting to take interest in the sport. Selulwe highlighted this during a coach's training clinic run by cheerleading experts from Mexico, United States of America and South Africa. Abam Pete and Michelle Sekopo have the report.
This training clinic is part of Botswana Cheerleading Federation along with International Cheer Union to raise the profile of the sport in Botswana. The 4-day clinic, which started on Thursday, was conducted by accredited international trainers in Ruben Rivera from USA, Georgie Del Rosa from Mexico, and South African Chantal Vandermeer.
They needed to start them from the basics, like arm placement. It is very, very important in cheerleading. They need to know how to place their hands and where to place them, because when you dance, your hands are supposed to be coordinated. They're supposed to be in one place. You don't just put them everywhere. So that's what makes everything stand out in any routine. So I wanted them to start them with the basics on arms placement and then go into techniques like body postures and all of that, and then also teaching them the pyramids, how to do pyramids basics. That's why we want them to take us.
Local coaches are ecstatic about the clinic as it will broaden their knowledge of the sport as they work to produce well-rounded athletes who can take cheerleading to great heights.
As coaches in Botswana, we've been doing the basics. So because they know more about cheerleading, we wanted them to come and teach us these skills, like the flips, like the basket toss, like all the skills, like the tumbling when somebody's flying up, how we should hold the kid, how we should teach them to land, how we should teach them different cheerleading skills, because most of the time as coaches in Botswana, we are doing the pom-pom dances. It doesn't have all the pyramids. Pyramids are these ones. So we are very glad we have them here. We are expecting a lot. We are learning a lot. We want more kids to come and enjoy the sport.
The international trainers say there is still a lot to cover to get the sport to a more advanced level, but commended the local controlling body for organizing the exercise, as it will go a long way in developing cheerleading in Botswana.
So coming here, we knew that we were going to work a lot on the basics. That's because the Botswana Cheerleading Association let us know that ahead of time. And so the technique that we're using is we're basically, I'm taking everything that I've learned back at home and trying to implement it here just so that way the sport can grow. I know there is a lot of hunger for the sport to grow, but we need to make sure that the coaches are trained properly as well as the athletes in order to remain safe, but to also help it grow.
They're responding very well. They're excited. We can see they're so motivated at this point, and that's why I'm saying there's a hunger in them. They want to learn, and that's why the response we've been getting is so good.
From this clinic is to expand the knowledge over here in Botswana, and then for all the kids to have a very great time to see that there's a lot of drills, technique, progression, and new ways to learn.
The 4-day training, which started on Thursday, ended on Sunday in Gaborone, where several coaches will now be expected to impact what they learn here to other local coaches and athletes. Khomezo Sefako, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Botswana Karate Association held the first round of under-21 national team selection to pick a team that will represent the country at the Zone 6 Championships to be held in Namibia in May. Athletes who were competing in kata and komite categories were from the southern and northern regions of the country. Tlamelo Munsusi.
One of the tournament administrators, Sensei Brian De Botelo, explained that the best 4 performing athletes in each category will advance to the second round, where selected athletes from the southern and the northern regions will compete for slots in the national team.
The performance is not that much improvement because the guys in Tsabasa train essentially. Now from the festive break, the training is small, but the performance is not bad. To select the national team is a challenge, and then we need numbers to come up with the cream of the country. So seriously, we will encourage our clubs around but we understand that because of those that launch break-ins, hence that's why but the turn up today, we can say that is good.
In the kata under 14, Norman Liburu of Kung Fu Can won gold. Wagomolo settled for silver while Khame Moshawane and Katlo Muliti settled for 3rd and 4th spot, respectively.
I prepared myself both physically and mentally. When you wake up in the morning, I just told myself, you're going to be number 1 for today. And that's what I told myself. And for physically, I worked hard, both here and at the dojo.
In the junior cadets category, Gabriel Molefe took the 1st spot, while Jonathan Chenjeta and Lewis Chenjeta settled for 2nd and 3rd, respectively. Now in committee junior cadets category, Sarna Mohakuludi defeated Nathan Jadiwe 7-6. In the men's senior cadets, Theo walked away with gold after defeating Botlhale Sikwane, while Kialebohake Molatle settled for 3rd spot. The Botswana Karate Association national team selection will continue next week with the senior category as they prepare a squad to compete at the Zone 6 Championship to be held in Namibia in May. Tlamelo Munsusi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Joining Bowling Club are this year's Botswana Bowling Association champions for their first major tournament, which was sponsored by Mighty Infinite Services to the tune of 12,000 pula. The tournament was held over the weekend in Gaborone, and Kagiso Molelekwa was there.
Joining Bowling Club, which sent a total of 5 teams to the major, emerged winners after winning all their 3 games and a 40-score difference to walk home with 6,000 pula and a trophy. They were followed by another Joining Bowling Club team, which also collected 9 points and a 44-score difference to grab 4,000 pula. In position 3 was Orapa Bowling Club, who got 2,000 pula.
Me ala ka gore ne re bereka as a team ke sone se re kgontshitseng ka gore rotlhe mo team ya rona ne re participate ne re ba bangwe ba e ka re ba short ba bang ba thusa go hitlhela ko natlaneng gore re win ke yone la nnete e re bereketseng nna re bereka as a team.
Itumetse tshameko ya rona thata re tshamekile because kwa go pikiwa di-team go a lebelela gore go na le team A e go tswang gore is the strongest team, so ile a re pikiwa di-team ya rona ne e le gore joining brought 5 teams, so go raya gore nna team ene ke e tshamekela ke team E. Team E ke yone gore heletse gore re tsaya position 2 mme re gone position 1 e re seile ka short e 1 because ba na le plus 41 o re na le plus 40 ba re seile ka short e 1 hela, so performance ya rona ka tsaya gore re tshamekile thata ha re lebile yone kganyo na gore ne re le the last ha go pikiwa
re re position 1 re paletswe hela ke ya gona re win di-game tsa rona tsotlhe mme ba re seile ka di-score that's re win di-game tsotlhe ba re seile ka di-score mme tota maikaelelo ne le go tsaya position 1 ga re a tshameka sentle thata re batho ba re tshamekang hela gompieno gore lebalane le nnetswe ke pula bontseng ga di se le nne sentle le ke ela shota metsi ga le tshamekege sentle hela mme tota motshameko swa ga ba re itumedisa.
This particular major, like you say, is the first one of the year in a series of 5. As Gaborone Club, we host the first because we are designated as the headquarters of the BBA. And we also, during that major, on the date of that major, we also have our AGM. At the beginning of every year, the BBA competition secretary sends out the calendar, the full calendar for the year. And we, as Gaborone, know that the second weekend of February, that is where our major is. And then, roughly a month later, comes Francistown. So the next major, in about 4 weeks, will be Francistown.
This first edition of Mighty Infinite Services Major will be graced by a total of 5 clubs across the country, with 16 teams taking part, is the season opener in the Botswana Bowling Association calendar, and the second major is expected to be held in Francistown next month. Still part of the major, the Botswana Bowling Association also held the annual general meeting in which Kitso Robert was re-elected to the position of president. Kagiso Molelegwa, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now finishing off with football news, UB Hawks and Extension Gunners played 2-1 all draw in the First Division South League game played at SSG grounds in Gaborone. UB Hawks were the first to score in the 21st minute through Kenneth Silent, while Gunaguna's equalizing goal came through a 40-minute strike by Vuyo Mankanku. The result means that Daniel Nare's men, Extension Gunners, have now dropped to position 6, while Basimane Boetle Malete's boys are still in position 7 with 16 points. In another game, Muchudi Center Chiefs defeated Black Forest by 2-0 to move up to the 4th spot on the log standings.
We could have loved a win. When you come to the game, you come straightly to try and get a win again. Like if we led first, if you score first in the first division, you are likely to have the chances of winning the game. We should have not allowed them to come back. And we take it. It's always a tough game when you come into the second round. It's tough, but we are there. We are playing a very experienced team. You can tell. If we had capitalized the first chances of ours, we could have won this game easily.
The first 15 minutes, I think my jersey number 10 should have scored a hat-trick there. In the box, when you are a striker, you must be a predator. Don't control everything that comes to you. So he had 1, 2, 3 crosses that he could have just tapped. Not as a keeper. He wanted to control, defenders recovered, cleared the ball. But from a tactical point, compared to the first game, this is one team that plays without wingers. They invert, and they play a high line. So I played this type of system against Black Forest in Lubati. But you cannot play this system when you don't have the right players and when the situation doesn't allow. So today, I had to sit with 2 and with 2 strikers just to tweak the movements and the organizations to mark. I said they should not start. They were not starting.
And that is it for sport this evening. Khomoso Mapani is standing by to give us a reminder of our top stories. Mate, so I believe me and you will do this again tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Liza. Let's meet again tomorrow. Have yourself a fantastic evening, ma'am.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. That was Liza once again giving us the latest in sports. Let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. The construction of Mankodi Sejero Junction in Ganye to commence in 6 months. Moshoba Post Office to bring services closer to the people. And in sports, Botswana Karate Association continued to select players to represent the country at the Zone 6 Championships. That's all we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News, Ikanya Rona, hashtag BW Mindset Change. Up next is the weather update. Cancer is the second leading cause of death worldwide. The burden of cancer extends across borders, affecting millions of lives annually. Prevention plays a crucial role in the fight against cancer, and early detection remains a key factor in improving the outcomes, highlighting the need for accessible and widespread screening progress. Let's have a look at a conversation held earlier today on this issue.
Human body is made in such a way that